And we've gathered here to an act of reverence and love to place these ashes here in this cemetery. And in doing that, we trust that somehow, some way, the best of my dad's life won't be lost, but somehow resonate with each one of us. You know, I asked my mom if there was something specific that she wanted to share that she thought even my dad might want to share. And she said, you know, it was an interesting thing that as in the later days of my dad's life, that he would wake up, see the sunrise, and know that God gave him another day. And, you know, gave him a gift. And that he liked bright colors. So that's why you see some of us wearing bright colors. And if you're not today, well, I guess you didn't get the memo. Sorry about that. But it reminds me of the passage in Ecclesiastes. We read where Solomon is, you know, if you read anything about Solomon, we always remember him as the wise king. But the truth is that he really agonized about the meaning of life. And Solomon wrote some words about 1,000 years before Jesus was even walking the earth. And it's a familiar passage. I'm reading from Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 15, where Solomon declares there's a time for everything. And today I'm reading it from a paraphrase called The Message. Not really a translation, it's a paraphrase of the Bible. And he says this, he says, there's a right time for everything. There's an opportune time to do things. A right time for everything on the earth. There's a time for birth and another for death. A time to plant and a time to reap. A time to kill and a time to heal. A right time to destroy and another to construct. He says there's a right time to cry and another to laugh. So I'm going to pause here for a second because I want you to know that if you knew anything about my dad, he had a good sense of humor. And it reminds me of a time, Mom, you're just going to have to go with this. It reminds me of a time where there was a widow preparing for her husband's funeral, and the pastor asked her, well, did you have a favorite hymn that you'd like us to sing at his service? She said, well, yeah, he liked Jingle Bells. The pastor thought, well, okay, I don't want to make her feel bad, but all right, we'll sing Jingle Bells at his service. So they gathered together on the day of the service. The choir was there and just sitting inside the church, and they sang Jingle Bells. You know, Jingle Bells. It was probably a day like today. It was like the middle of July. Kind of weird. After that service got done, the lady realized her mistake, and she ran over to the pastor and she says, I'm really sorry. His favorite hymn was actually Ring Those Golden Bells. Well, I just happen to believe my dad would laugh at that. So Solomon goes on to say, there's a right time to lament, a right time to cheer, a time to embrace, and another time to part. A right time to hold on, and another to let go. And then Solomon goes on to say in subsequent passages, so eat and drink and do your job, because it's all God's gift. And that is how my dad chose to look at the last several months and weeks of his life, that what he got was God's gift. Walt Hardin, my namesake, and the name that most of you know him by, for my Aunt Red, his sister Juanita, and that side of the family growing up, he was Walter Jean. It was like all one word. When I was growing up, I just thought it was some weird nickname. My great Aunt Toots and my great Aunt Joy over here, they just called him Walter Jean. It's amazing that you guys are here. Thank you.
Yes.
But it's Walter Jean, and I just thought, it wasn't until later in life I realized, oh, that's my name too. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And for my mom, he was just Walt. If you were my nephews, Brian and Tyler, he was Gramps. I think for Brett and Aaron and Derek and my kids, he was just Grandpa. My cousins, he was Uncle Walt. And I, along with my sisters, had the fortune to call him Dad. Now, I don't know why, but just as sure as the amount of rain you guys have all had here, in California we haven't been that lucky, but I knew somehow that I would be up here doing this someday. And I can assure you that I miss my dad. I talk to him almost every week. We talk about all kinds of things, politics. That was an interesting talk.
Yeah.
And the weather and sports, and we talk about pretty much anything. I'd usually call him and tease him, you know, I'm here for your wake-up call because you're retired now, so I don't want you to sleep in. He certainly didn't let us sleep in when we were kids.
Got that right.
And I talked to him, you know, all the way up into including Thanksgiving Day before he died. So today you get to hear about Walt Hardin and remember with me the man, the husband, the father, and the friend that he was. And as I mentioned friends, I realize there's so many of you that called him a friend, and as I was growing up, there wasn't any friend closer to him that I remember than Max Byers. So I've asked Max to come up here and say a few words about my dad today. Excellent. Perfect.
I had a few things in my mind I wanted to talk about, but I had to write them down so I wouldn't forget them. Because, you know, memory is not the first thing to go, but it's on the way. You know, Walt was a lot of people's friend. I don't know anybody that wasn't his friend. I think I was his friend. He never gave me any advice. It's kind of amazing because I know he literally had an opinion about everything. And he wasn't bashful about telling us what that opinion was. But he was a good example. Walt was a good example for me and for everybody that knew him. He gave 100%, 110% for anything he was going to do. He wasn't lazy, but he was always fair. He never really, he teased a lot of people, but he never really wanted to abuse anybody. No abuse in his heart. He lived in a lot of different places and did a lot of different things, but he never would stay in a position that he didn't approve of or agree with. He was, this is just my opinion, of course, but I think it's true. Walt loved his family, every bit of it.
Again, we want to thank everybody for being here. Remind you that there's a small reception at my sister Brenda's house. If you don't know how to get there, I'm sorry. It's 3407 Trees Mill Circle. Put that in your GPSs and we'll see you there if you'd like to drop by and say hello. Some light refreshments will be there. Thank you.